Alright, what's going on? You're with myself, Collins, right now, and we're in Ekizel's living room. We're gonna meet the man himself and go behind his productions and how he makes his music.
I'm Ekizel, most people call me Eeks. I've been making beats for about 12-13 years. I've worked with artists such as Loki, Mike Assassin, and even local artists like Chains, Shy and DRS and more. I got into producing when I was in high school. My friends were in a rap group, they were using stolen beats, and there was another group that were better than us that had their own beats, so I thought I'll be the guy to start making the beats. I originally started making beats on a tape player. I used one tape player to get a sample, the other tape player to get the drums. You couldn't change the pitch, so it was always out of time, so it was terrible. I then progressed to an S1.EP1, which I got from a local DJ. It was a terrible machine, but that's where I learned my trade. The genre I would class myself in would be more sort of golden era rap, 90s New York. That's the type of stuff I enjoy to make. I'll make anything for anyone if it's good, as long as I can listen to it and enjoy it. That's what matters to me. My main influence, first and foremost, would probably be Alchemist. I love the Mobb Deep sort of sound. It's influenced me because he has very basic structure style on the sample with hard-hitting drums. Other influences would be obviously J Dilla, DJ Premier, and I also like some classic music. Big John Lennon fan. I've never felt the need to move to London. I think the internet nowadays is such a big platform that you can do a lot of stuff internationally from the inside of your own home. Music for me is something I make because I enjoy making it. It's not something I've ever wanted to be a career and progress and be famous. As long as I make a song and I enjoy it, doesn't matter if no one hears it. If I like it, it's good with me. Right now I'm going to take you around some of the equipment I used to make beats on. Starting off with the Ekizel MPC60. I've used a number of MPCs over the years. This is the first one they made, and for me it has the best time and it's rock solid. It's the one I always seem to go to. Right here is my analog console. This is an AMAC TAC Scorpion. I really only use this if it's for an actual project, a single. It's quite a hassle. It's not automated, so I have to remember where everything was, each mix. So it's usually only for big projects, not starting off beats. Here we've got the Ekizel MPC2500. I don't use the 2500 much. I got this to get into the more modern MPCs. I did have a 1000 and I sold it. For me, the timing's just not there on this one. It doesn't sound as good as the 60, and I really picked this one up. This is the Yamaha O1X. This is my sound card. Everything you see here goes into this. It goes through one cable into the computer. That's how you get all the sounds, that's how I mix it. It's fully automated, so it's really quick and easy. Right here we've got a Focusrite liquid mix. It's basically a controller for plugins. It's terrible, don't buy one. These are the Yamaha NS10s. I've used a number of monitors over the years and they're tried and tested. You can't beat the NS10s in my opinion. This is the Apple Mac. It's got Windows on it because Windows is better. Fuck you. Apple Mac's an Apple Mac, all in one, it's easy, chuck it on the desk, don't need to worry about a monitor or that. Then we've got some rack gear. In the rack, we'll start off with the Ekizel S5000. This is where I put most of my big samples. Then we've got the power supply for the TAC, then we've got my amp, and we've got various compressors and preamps. The preamp and compressor I'm really enjoying at the moment is this one here, which is the Focusrite Platinum Penta. It's a preset compressor, so you can flick to stuff easy and just tweak it. It's got a nice sound to it, nice and clean. That's it. I'm gonna talk a bit about how I go about making a beat. The first thing I do is samples. 9 times out of 10, I'll sample on vinyl. My drums, samples, everything comes off of vinyl. Hook the turntable up and start listening to some samples. Once I've picked my samples, I normally start with the drums. I'm using MPC60 right now, but I've loaded some of the samples into FL Studio so I can play them quickly. So I'll play the original drums I used, which is 2 different breaks. The main one being this one. And then this one to layer it. With breaks, there's a lot of dirt and sound and crackle behind them. The first thing you want to do is truncate your sounds, chop them up, make them into one shots, and then I scatter them across my pads. So I've got all my sounds, and then it's just a case of sequencing it and getting a drum loop. As long as you truncate your drums well, they'll sound clean, they'll sound nice, and they'll sound different to your break. Don't truncate them too much if you want it to sound like the break, but that's my drum loop I've got. Next thing I then do is get my sample. If you're lucky enough to find a beautiful loop and you can just loop it, it's the best type of sample, but sometimes you've got to chop them up. I've got a number of different samples I'm using. These first 2 are for the intro. This next sample, there's 3 notes in there that I use for the main verse. See if you can hear them. A cotton candy held. So you've heard my samples. In this case, I've got to chop the hell out of it to make it sound good. So once you've chopped it up, taken all the little bits you want, this is a sequence I came up with. Just a little loop for now. And then you're going to need extra bits for it, for your 8 bar, your 4 bar. I've got different little voices and things that I've added in. You then want to put the drums all on top of that, which I'll play for you now. So here's my sequence with my drums. Once you've got all your sequences, your intro, your outro, it's just a case of playing the beat. So this is my finished beat with all my different sequences. If you're just starting out and you want to make beats, don't go running out and buying yourself an MPC. Just get a program for your laptop, your computer, learn the basics, get yourself some good drum sounds, and when you start making something nuts on a free program and you want to get a better sound, find a machine that suits you. Don't buy an MPC because your favourite producer is using one. Find a mate that's got one, read on the internet, get a machine that suits your style, and just make music.